What's up, people, and welcome back again to another video. I'm very happy to be making this video after such a long time of not making one. Just my life has been very hectic and very crazy, and I'm just starting now to get it together for the most part. Not really, but anyways, that's besides the point. The point of this video is exactly what you read in the title. It's advice for switching from controller to keyboard and mouse on Fortnite. This is actually a change that I have made in the past few months, and I don't think I can go back. I'm not good at all by any means. I'm actually terrible on keyboard and mouse, but I'm starting to get the basics, and I'm starting to get back into the groove and starting to get back into the swing of things, and things are starting to feel so much better. It just everything feels smoother, everything feels more fluid, and as soon as I get it, it's definitely going to be well worth the change. Now, today's video is actually going to be a few tips that I've created from before you switch, as you're thinking about switching, and then after you actually made the switch. Now, like I said, I'm no pro, I'm no crazy top placing competitor, I'm not good at all, but these are definitely tips that everyone should listen to before and after making the switch, because it will make your transition a lot easier and better. So I have about 3 tips for before switching and about 3 tips for after you switch. So we're just going to start off with before switching. I'm going to try to link in the description timestamps so you can switch to each one if you feel like you already know one, or if you want to just switch to a specific one so you can just listen to that and not have to listen to the whole video of me rambling, because I don't know. This video is probably going to be a long video. So I'll leave that in the description for you so you can cycle through if you need to. So the first tip I have is to make sure that you're on PC and not on console. Now, it's not impossible to be good on console with a keyboard and mouse, but it's going to make your life a lot harder, and it's just going to make things way more complicated. And there's different reasons for that, and the first being input lag. So input lag is basically the time it takes from you pressing a key on your keyboard to it registering on your screen that you've actually pressed that key. So basically, if I press W on my keyboard to move forward, it's going to take a little bit longer. There's going to be like a tiny bit of a delay on your screen to when you actually press that key, whereas on an actual PC you don't get that kind of input lag. The next reason why you shouldn't be using keyboard and mouse on your console is because of limited frames per second. Now, this is a given. If you're not on a PC, automatically you're capped at 60 frames per second, and there's going to be some people that say, well, I play on PC and I still can only play on 60 frames per second because that's what my PC can handle. My response to that is that you're still on a PC, and things are going to be a little bit easier and smoother for you than it would be if you were using a keyboard and mouse on a console. Keyboard and mouse is made for a PC, it's not made for a console. So you get a little bit more of a benefit when you play on PC rather than on console. And the last being, you're going to be playing on PC lobbies only. Now, this is going to incorporate all of the other things that I said before into one thing. So if you're playing only in PC lobbies, you're going to be playing against people who are on computers while you're on a console. And like I said before, you get limited frames per second and you get input lag, which is going to just cause you to get destroyed, especially if you're learning how to use a keyboard and mouse. Now, if you're already a pro on keyboard and mouse and you're going to connect it into your console, by all means, go ahead. I mean, you can do that even if you're not a pro. It's definitely a good start if you can't afford a PC right now, but like I said, it's just going to be a lot more difficult for you in the long run. Now, my second tip or piece of advice that I can give before you switch to keyboard and mouse on Fortnite is that you need to know that your kill-death ratio and your win-loss ratio will drop. You will get bodied, I promise you. This is coming from someone who almost had a 4 KD on controller on PS4 before I switched to keyboard and mouse, and now my KD is only just above 2.4 or 2.3, something like that. I don't really know exactly where it is on PC now, but my KD has dropped significantly, and that's because I knew that was going to happen, because it doesn't matter. I know the mechanics and I know how to play the game. It's just that playing on a whole new platform, your skills are limited, and you just have to basically relearn the whole game again. This is definitely only a tip or a piece of advice for those people who are competitive and do really care about their kill death ratio. I know I did before I switched. Now I really don't care. My KD could be a 0.4. I don't really care because I'm having a lot of fun with my switch. But not all people are the same. They're not going to think the same. So just keep that in mind before you switch, because it's going to happen. It's inevitable unless you just keep on playing in creative and never play in a public match until you feel like you're Tifu status. But most likely that's not the case. You're going to want to play a regular game. Now, my third and final piece of advice that I can give you before you switch to keyboard and mouse from controller is to not quit. It's going to be hard to get used to. It's going to take like months to get. So just get comfortable with it and just don't quit, because it's going to take take time. I promise you, it will take a lot of time to get comfortable. Not just talking about getting good, because some people are gonna get good a lot faster than others. Now, there's probably gonna be someone watching this video that makes a switch and within a month they're playing godlike status, placing in competitive matches. But that's not me. I took a lot more time. I'm still taking time to really get very comfortable with it. I still don't know if I need to change my keybinds, and it's been like 3 months since I've switched. Now, my improvement from the beginning of when I switched to now, it's a very big improvement, but I am not 100% there. And I can definitely say that after 3 months being switched to keyboard and mouse fully, I have not touched a controller since then. I mean, if you think about it, on a controller, there's very little amount of buttons, whereas on a keyboard and mouse, there's so many keys that you can change to what you like. It's just a matter of getting comfortable with it, and it's going to take you forever to really know what you like. One of the main things that I can add to that tip as well is to watch a lot of reviews on different keyboards and mouses that people use specifically for Fortnite, because of the mouse that I use, I actually use some of my build binds on my mouse itself, and I also have some of my weapon slots on my mouse. Your equipment is going to help you a lot as well. That's not going to be for everyone. Not everyone is going to do that, but definitely watch some reviews to get knowledge on what products might work for you. Now that we talked about before switching, now we're going to talk about after you finally made the switch. So once you pick the right keyboard and mouse, you have to figure out what your binds are going to be, and this is where creative is going to be your best friend. My biggest suggestion is don't just go copying other people's binds and thinking that's going to work for you. It might work for you, it is possible, but most likely it's not going to happen. I'm not going to lie, I did go and look at different pros keybinds, and I did try them all, and I tweaked them to what I liked, and eventually I got to the keybinds that were perfect for me, and I'm still changing them even now after 3 months of playing the game. It's just going to happen. You're going to want to change your keybinds to just adapt and get better. Sometimes you think a key is going to help you, whereas another key could be much faster at doing a certain thing, whether that's editing or building, whatever the case may be. You're always going to be switching because you just want to adapt and get better at the game, and it's going to happen. Like I said, most likely I'm going to bet, I'll be safe, 85% of you guys are not going to be able to just copy Tfue or Ninja or Hamlin's binds and think that that's going to be perfect for you. I promise you, when you go to use those keybinds, you're going to want to switch at least 1 or 2 keys. Keybinds have all to do with your preference. It's all what you are comfortable with, not what someone else is comfortable with. And you'll learn that as soon as you try different kinds of keybinds. And like I said, creative is your best friend in this scenario. Please hop in creative before you actually jump into a public game, because you're gonna get frustrated and you're gonna want to just punch your monitor. My second piece of advice, which is actually probably one of the most important pieces of advice, is walk before you run. I cannot stress that enough. Like I said before, time and time again, creative is your best friend. Learn basic mechanics before going into public matches, and YouTube is also a big help as well. If you go on YouTube, there's a whole bunch of videos on build tutorials and different high ground techniques where you can retake high ground, and all of these videos are going to help you tremendously. It's just not only on learning different kinds of build techniques, but also just learning the game again, because you're gonna have to basically relearn the game. It's like you're back in season 2 of chapter 1 and you're a bot pretty much because you don't know how to move. All of these different videos are gonna help you. Even if you know the build techniques already, just watching them again and relearning them is going to help you tremendously. I would even suggest doing this for a few days before you actually hop into a regular public match. And my third and last piece of advice that I can give, which is literally the most important. I know I said that I thought the other one was, but I think this is definitely the most important piece of advice, because this is one of the things that limited me after all this time of being switched to keyboard and mouse. I really just thought maybe I suck, but actually one of the biggest things that you can do is to practice your aim as well. Building is not the only thing you need to learn and to perfect. Aiming is probably going to be so much harder on a keyboard and mouse than it was on your controller because of aim assist. I was once a controller player. I know exactly how it is. Now being switched to keyboard and mouse, now I see why a lot of people complain about aim assist. It's so different, and it's so much harder to aim on keyboard and mouse. People think it's not harder to aim, but it is, because you don't have that kind of help to kind of correct your aim when you need it. Your sensitivity is definitely going to play a huge role in this. One of the best things you can do is go on YouTube and look at different aiming courses. There's some courses as well that have everything built into it, as in editing, building, aiming, all of it together, definitely look at those courses and try to just keep on doing them over and over and over again. Really, you can go into a lobby and just be Bob the Builder and build all over people, but you're not going to get any progress if you can't aim and hit them when you try to shoot at them. So aiming is definitely, I think, the most important thing that you can work on in Fortnite. And aiming on a keyboard and mouse is just so much different than controller. It's just very important that you work on this. And I'm actually going to link in the description a creative code that I personally use that has helped me out a lot with my aiming, and has definitely helped me not get bodied as much as I did when I first switched. When you're thinking about switching your sensitivity, just remember that a higher sense is going to help you build faster and maneuver quicker. The only downside to that is that you have less control of your shots, and it's going to be a lot less clean. But then again, that's also another preference. That's up to the person that's playing the game. That I can't really tell you what sense is going to work better for you. I play at a lower sense, but that's just because I wouldn't be able to control a higher sense, whereas a lot other people could control that higher sense, and it will make you a better player. But that, like I said, that all depends on the person, and I can't really guide you on which sense will be better. It's all up to you. Just got to get in the game and play it. Now, I think that that's all I have for today. I know that there's something that I missed, but I just can't think of it right now. If there's anything that you think that I missed, just leave a comment down in the comment section below and let me know, and I'll pin your comment if I think it's actually a good tip that I missed. If you made it this far into the video, I want to thank you so much for watching this whole video through. I'm trying to make a lot more videos. I have a lot more time on my hands now. Thank God. I finished school. I was working and going to school full time. So I love doing this. It's just I didn't have the time to do it. And now I live on my own. Well, I live with my girlfriend. I don't live at home with my parents anymore. I moved out. I work full time, but that's all I do now. So I mean, I have a lot more time to do this. So I'm gonna try to pump out more videos, and it's not just going to be tutorial videos. I just thought that this was a good video to make since I'm actually in the middle of making this transition, and I thought I could help some people out, and hopefully I did. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have today. If you guys like the video, please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, you know, all that normal shit, and I'll catch you guys next time with the next tutorial video, gameplay, I don't know, whatever I decide to post. And yeah, thank you again.